Karibuni sana to the Worship Refill. I'm so glad that you're joining me today. Thank you very much for making time to be here. We don't take it in vain. We are so glad and we are so happy for supporting us this far. Subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing our videos with other worshipers out there. We are so glad. Thank you very much. So today I'm back with the Worshipers Diary episode 2. And I am so glad that you're joining me today. So last time we were just talking about how you should surrender everything that you are to God. Surrender the painful moments and the joyful moments to the Lord so that you may worship the Lord better. And so today what I want us to talk about is personalizing worship. Making worship so personal. Making worship very personal, that it is between me and God. You as a worship leader, and even you as a worshiper out there. So the reason why I came up with this topic is because most of the times we lead worship as if we are doing it for the congregants. We lead worship as if we are doing it for other people to, love how we are doing it. But are we doing worship according to how God has revealed worship to us? Are we leading worship according to the understanding of who God is in our lives? So personalizing that worship, understanding where does worship start? Where does worship begin? And once you personalize your worship, it will be very easy. Even as you lead worship, people are able to relate with you. People are able to see the God in you. In Amos 3:3 it says, two cannot walk together unless they agree. So we need to agree with God. We need to agree with the things of God so that we may lead worship better. I am giving an example of Abraham and Isaac, the story about Abraham and Isaac and God. God telling, Abraham, you need to sacrifice your only son. It says that, Abraham walked with God, Abraham walked with God faithfully and in obedience. So he personalized worship. And it reached a point when he was sacrificing his only son. Even the wife was not aware of it. He said, I am going to give sacrifice to the Lord, And even there's a place where he left the servants, down the mountain. And he said, from here I'm going to go with my son. So he personalized worship, that this worship is between me and God. Before ifikie wale watu wengine huko nje, it is between me and God. Before people to see these great moves and all that, has God revealed himself mighty, in me first, me as Millicent, you as a worshiper. Abraham, if Abraham was here at the moment, he would have given a testimony of God being a provider, because that's what he saw. So what can people say about you? What is that testimony that people can talk about? Mungu, watu wanaweza sema nataka Mungu wa Millicent, watu wanaweza sema nataka Mungu wa mtu fulani. I want the God that you serve because I have seen him doing these things for you. So it's simply about personalizing that worship. I'm talking, look at Elijah. Elijah alifika mahali, he would even pray for rain. Anajieka kando mahali and he will go somewhere, pray for rain and say, our God will remember us. He was so personal with God. Look at David. Despite his shortcomings and all that, God said, this is the only man after my heart. Look at Jacob. All these great people that we hear about. It's now time for people to know about us. So once you're standing there on Sunday and you're leading people to worship, personalize worship. Let first worship between you and your God. How have you been throughout the week? How have you engaged with people? Have you let go of people? But it's not about, kutokea Sunday na kuonekana nilikuja church. Si kutokea na kuonekana, bila hii soprano yangu, bila hii alto yangu hamwezi. bila this and this, you're not able to do it without me. But it's about coming to a point of understanding that I know God. I know who He is. Just like where we've read Amos 3:3, two cannot walk together unless they agree. So unless you agree the things of God, unless you agree God to change you. The worshippers that we've had on set, the ones that have been training us about worship, most of the times I ask them the question where, what are the things that Mungu ameweza kuguza kwa maisha yako for you to be a better worshipper? And they have shared their experiences, They have shared the experience. Some were walking in jealousy, others were walking in pride, others were in different addictions, But once you come to the truth, once you come to personalize this worship, once you come to personalize this, let me call it even a journey, you will worship better. You will understand what worship is. And every time you hold the microphone and you're leading people to worship, things will not be the same. People will be able to understand who you really are. People will be able to understand, they're able to connect with your worship. You're even able to tell them your experiences, the experiences you had, with God. Personally, when I lead worship, I love giving people experiences, the experiences I have gone through. How God has come through for me, when I wanted Him to provide for me, when I was sick, when He was healing me, in my family, in my loss, in my griefs, in my down moments. And when I'm able to share that, people are able to experience this and say, I want that God for me. That God, ule Mungu wa mili. And I have seen people even coming to me on Sundays and telling me, if Shiko, God has done this for you, I believe He can do it for me. So to me, that is a miracle. To me, that is, a worship with a difference. That it goes beyond music, but it is even touching lives, out there. So personalize that worship with God. Personalize that journey with God. Jiulize tulianza wapi? God, it's not about this good gift you've given me. It's not about this mashamra and all that, but it's about understanding who you really are. Personally, I've seen God working in me in very many things as a worshipper. There are very many things I do wrong, and God is like telling me, Wanjiko, you need to stop doing all this. Millicent, you need to stop doing this. Millicent, you need to stop hanging out with such people. But because, of course, I have the weak nature in me, sometimes you want to compromise and do whatever you want. But our God is a God who constantly corrects the people He loves. There's a song that says, He leaves the 99 going for the one. And I have seen Him coming for this one, leaving the 99 and always coming for this one. So all the worshippers out there, the worship leaders, personalize worship. I am loving the many people out there who are talking about worship. There are very many people that I follow in Facebook. We have Rose, we have Faith, we have Madam Florence Moreithi. We have very many people who have great teachings about, about worship. We have, Pastor Harriet, Minister Harriet. There are very many people who are talking about worship out there. And to me, it is what God is doing in their lives. They're sharing their experiences with us. So my plea to all of us, we as the worshippers, and we as the worship leaders, let us walk in truth and come out of that cocoon of pleasing people, of doing things how you want, and allowing God to use you in a mighty way. Just subjecting to His will and to His understanding of who He is. It is not an easy process. Kuna maombi tunaombanga tunaambia Mungu, use me as you will, as you wish. May your will be done. But the will of God can be a bit painful. The will of God can be bumpy. It can be thorny. And if you want God akufikishe pale mahali ulikuwa unataka kuenda, lazima upungue, and you allow God to use you in a mighty way. And you allow God to teach you His ways. Ati utatupa yote yaliyo nataka na useme, You know, there's that parable where Jesus said, you know, go sell everything and follow me. And I believe that is what God is telling all the worship leaders out there. You know, go deal with everything and now come. Come as you are and worship me in truth, in spirit, in understanding, in honesty. You know, be authentic. You know, once you're standing before people, are you doing things, you know, kuna watu wengine vitu zenye tunafanya pale mbele. I mean, you're not even able to do it even before your own parents. Tumefika mahali we fear our parents more than we fear God. So may God help us. May God help us. That was just a reflection as we start, you know, a new month. And even as we are approaching Easter, as we celebrate, you know, the death of our Lord Jesus Christ. We are almost Easter in a month's time. And reflecting upon the love of God, you know, him sending his only son to die on the cross. And now he says we are redeemed, we are chosen, you know, we are born again. We are no longer slaves to the past. So take this humble time and reflect upon your journey as a worshiper. You know, jiulize nimekuaje, hii safari yangu imekuaje? Am I where God wants me to be? Or am I just doing things the way I want to? I mean, that is the question I would ask. Whether you are an instrumentalist, why are you playing those drums? Why are you playing that keyboard? You know, why are you playing that solo? You know, why are you playing that saxophone? Everything that you're doing, why are you doing it? Are you doing it even for money? Are you doing it to be appreciated? Why are you doing it? Are you doing it for service? Is it coming from your heart, from the depths of your heart? Are you worshiping God with that which God has bestowed upon you? I believe that is what I would share with us even as we start a new month and as we are looking forward to Easter. I believe that is what I would ask of us. Let's personalize worship. That worship is a journey. Na mali safari yako ilikatikia, you know, go back and trace yourself back. Because our God is very merciful and you will be able to rise again. He says he is a faithful God and he will always take us out of that muddy place and that unclean place. And he will wash us clean because he is God and he is a merciful, merciful Father. So that is my reflection to us today, that personalized worship. Know this God personally. Before sharing this thing to other people, wacha ukue imekujenga wewe mwenyewe. That is what worship is, true worship. Personalizing the journey of worship. I leave you that word, Amos 3:3. True cannot walk unless they agree. So thank you very much for joining us. That was just but a reflection. Thank you very much for following us on our social media handles. Thank you very much for supporting us, for calling us, for commenting. I mean, your support is very much appreciated. We thank you very much. We also want to give credit to St. Paul's University for, you know, giving me a nice brand, nice t-shirt. Thank you very much. You can always visit their website. They have amazing courses. It is an amazing university that you can go there and study. Amazing lecturers, students, staffs. You can always go and reach out to their website and for more information. Thank you very much. Till we meet next time, don't forget to share, to like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube channel, The Worshipper Refill. On Facebook, The Worshipper Refill page. We are opening a new page in Facebook, The Worshipper Refill. You can also follow me on my Facebook page, Ndonga. You can interact more. Thank you very much and God bless you. Till next time, Baraka.